Hey, Steve from Flowmaster. Today I'm happy to introduce our new Delta Force cooler intake for the 2013 and newer Subaru BRZ and the Scion FRS. And these new Delta Force cooler intakes have a black powder coated heat shield, reinforced silicone couplers, all stainless steel hardware, anodized fittings, and all systems feature an ultra trick looking durable cross-linked polyethylene intake tube along with the large high flow conical shaped filter. It's an 8-layer cotton gauze air filter ensuring that it will trap more dust and dirt particles than your typical 6-layer filter. This is 100% direct bolt onto the vehicle, and it's backed up by a lifetime limited warranty protecting your investment and giving you peace of mind. Now, the tools for the job are basic hand tools can be found in most common toolboxes with no specialty tools required. All Flowmaster products are dyno tuned during the development phases for maximum power gains and efficiency. I don't know about you, but I'm going to get this installed in the Subaru BRZ here. Okay, we're in the shop today. We have a 2017 Subaru BRZ. We're going to get this old intake system off. We're going to put on the new Delta Force cooler intake. So let's get started. Okay, first we're going to go ahead and remove these 3 bolts. There's one right here, and there's a third one down below. And then we're going to go ahead and disconnect the sensor, remove the wire loom from the holder, loosen up the clamp. We're going to go ahead and loosen up this clamp and slide it back and remove the hose from the fitting and loosen up this clamp. And then we'll go ahead and remove the stock airbox assembly, and then we'll put on the new Delta Force cooler intake. And the last bolt's down here. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and disconnect the sensor. It's going to push down on the tab and then pull the plug off. And now remove the wire loom from the holder. You're just going to have to push the little plastic tab off. It'll come right off. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and loosen up this clamp and slide it back and then remove the hose off the fitting. Okay, we'll go ahead and loosen up this clamp right here. And then we'll loosen up the clamp at the throttle body. Okay, now we'll go ahead and remove the hose from the intake tube. Okay, just lift straight up. Okay, we got the stock airbox assembly out of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and pull off the stock sensor, and we're going to reuse it on the new Delta Force cooler intake. Okay, first we're going to start off with the heat shield here. We're going to go ahead and put on the air filter adapter. This is going to go on the inside of the heat shield. And then with the supplied hardware, we're going to go ahead and bolt this up. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put the brackets onto the heat shield. We're going to first start off with this guy. It's going to go on the outside of the heat shield. And on the inside of the heat shield, we're going to go ahead and put a bolt and a flat washer through the heat shield and through the bracket. And then we'll put the lock washer on and then the nut. Now we're going to go ahead and leave this loose so we can allow for some adjustment. And the next one is going to go down below here. This is going to go underneath the heat shield. It's got like a little step to it. So we're going to go ahead and put the supplied bolt with the flat washer through the heat shield. And then we'll go ahead and put the lock washer on and then the nut. Now this one, we can pretty much clock it to where it's just sticking past the heat shield. And we'll snug it down. Again, we're going to leave this loose so we can allow for some final adjustment. Okay, next we're going to put on the heat shield gasket. Now this may come in excess length, so you may need to trim it to fit your heat shield. We're going to go ahead and start on this bottom corner here and work our way all the way around. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put some parts on the intake tube. First, we're going to start off with the stock sensor. We're going to go ahead and peel off the factory O-ring. Now we'll go ahead and put the new supplied gasket onto the intake tube. And it's kind of got this little notch to it right here. This is going to kind of follow that contour on the intake tube. And then now you got these supplied spacers. We're going to go right on top. And then we're going to take the sensor. We're going to put the screw through the sensor. Now when you tighten this down evenly, you make sure you get a proper seal. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and install the anodized fitting. You want to make sure you put some Teflon tape on the fitting first, and then we're going to go ahead and start this by hand. Now we want to kind of have it going back towards the throttle body here. Okay, we're going to leave it loose so we can allow for final adjustment once it's in the vehicle. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on one of the silicone reinforced couplers. This one here has actually got a hump in the center, and it's got a bigger diameter on this side and a smaller one on this side. The bigger diameter is going to go on to the throttle body side. And now we're going to go ahead and just snug this up so we can leave some room for some adjustment once it's in the vehicle. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on the other reinforced silicone coupler. This has a bigger diameter on one side and a little bit smaller one on the other. The little bit smaller side is going to go on the intake tube. Now we're going to go ahead and just snug this down. Again, you want to leave all these clamps loose to allow for some adjustment. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on the other reinforced silicone coupler. It's going to go on the side of the intake tube. Okay, next we're ready to go ahead and mount the new heat shield. We're going to go ahead and reuse 2 of the 3 factory bolts to bolt this down. Okay, these are the 2 factory mounting points that the new heat shield is going to bolt down to. So we're going to go ahead and just drop this down in place. Again, you want to leave your brackets loose. So like I said, you can have some room for some adjustment. Now when installing your new heat shield, make sure your heat shield is underneath this factory fresh air vent. This is going to supply fresh, cold air to your air filter. Next, we're going to go ahead and final tighten down the bracket to the heat shield. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the new intake tube on. We're going to go ahead and put it on the throttle body side first. We'll put it on the heat shield side now. We'll go ahead and slide this down. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and push the reinforced silicone coupler all the way up to the stop here on the throttle body. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten down just the clamp to the throttle body. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and actually tighten down the anodized fitting, and this also is the time to go ahead and clock it. Okay, now we'll go ahead and slide the factory hose onto the anodized fitting. And then we'll go ahead and put the clamp on. Okay, next, we're going to go ahead and reconnect the sensor. Just push until you hear it click. Okay, next, we're going to go ahead and connect this hose onto the reinforced silicone coupler. We'll put the supplied hose clamp on first. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and tighten down the reinforced silicone coupler to the heat shield. Now you want to make sure the coupler is pushed up against the heat shield. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and tighten down the intake tube to the coupler. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and tighten down this clamp here to the intake tube. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the air filter. Okay, that concludes our installation here on a new Delta Force cold air intake for the 2013 and newer Subaru BRZ and the Scion FRS. The installation time on this was for about 30 to 45 minutes. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our Flowmaster YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.